Amy DeBusk. How are you doing, my friend?
I am amazing. How are
You,
you, Carl?
that's what, you are amazing. I always knew you were, and then I saw your numbers, and it's like, you got a lot of good stuff going on. Where are you
Oh,
located at?
I am out of Northern California, Sacramento. So my office is in Roseville, California.
Yep. And I know
But
we talked, you're just, up the road from, our friend Frank Gray.
yep, about 45 minutes from Frank.
Yep. You ever see him around by chance? Y'all
Yep.
ever
So,
same place, same
so
time
I got
sometime?
to meet Frank in person. He has a very good friend who's one of my best friends. And so the three of us went out to lunch a year ago. So that was super fun. We're overdue for another lunch.
Yeah, now, I know, Frank's a big motorcycle guy. You don't, you ride bikes by chance?
I have friends that do. My brother has a Harley, but no, I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
ride bikes. Not
yeah,
me.
yeah. All right, well let's talk a little business. So give me a little backstory. Loan officer, broker, branch manager. What's your
Nope,
story?
I'm a loan officer, mortgage advisor. Work for American Pacific Mortgage. I go by Amy DeBusk Home Loans. It's DBA of American Pacific Mortgage,
Yeah.
and yeah, 26 years in the business, and I'm proud to say I've been a mortgage marketing animal member for 1 year.
Wow, a 1 year anniversary. Well,
Yep.
first of all, and I say this with absolute sincerity, it is an honor, truly, to be a part of your journey, and
Mm.
I never take that lightly. And I know it sounds corny, but I swear it's the reason why I still do this is I
To
just
see
I
people flourish in
yeah,
your
I just
coaching
love being a
program.
part
Yeah.
of. I do. I love being a part of. I love helping you paddle the boat. It's just I have a servant's heart,
Yeah.
and and I hear your boat's pretty good these days. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that first. So tell me. Let's I don't know fundings, units, however you want to do it.
Oh, okay. You know what? I had to add them up this morning because I don't really focus on that anymore. So in the month of September, I'll probably fund 12 loans for 4.7, something like that.
You go, girl.
Everybody's crushing it right now, though.
Oh,
So,
whoa, 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 whoa. None. Au contraire. Au
really?
contraire. Yeah, au contraire. You know how many loans the average loan officer funded for the month of September?
How much?
Zero.
Really?
That's average. Yeah, average is zero. I think average was actually like point 0.4, I think something like that.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, part of your problem is you hang out with a bunch of I was going to say which word
Really
here.
successful mortgage
Better way of
advisors.
saying it. I had another word. I had another phrase.
Winners.
Yeah, yeah. You hang
Yeah.
out with
The
winners,
bar
and
is here.
yeah, and it all kidding aside, you're flying in that flock, and
Yeah.
and you think that's normal,
Yes.
and it's not. So reach around there and give yourself a pat on the back. So 12 units,
Thank you.
4.7. That's really good.
Yeah,
How,
yeah.
have
Way
you,
different than last August
so
or last September.
what was last September?
Zero.
Which is average.
Yeah, zero,
Which
definitely.
is average.
Hmm.
Wow. So you've
Yeah,
gone from
yeah.
zero. Well, that's a pretty substantial difference in. We don't talk basis points, on the podcast because everybody comes from,
Everybody's different.
everybody's
Yeah,
different, right? So
yeah,
we don't do that. But whatever number you want to throw in there, 4.7 million times insert in basis points,
yeah.
massive difference in a year.
Yes, thank
Wow.
God.
So how does that feel?
Oh, it feels so good. I feel
Yeah.
like it's changed my whole life, Carl. I watched your last podcast with Chris Johnstone. I wish I would have known. And,
Ah,
you had some really good ones. My I wish I would have known
tell
is
me.
I wish I would have known mortgage marketing animals a long time ago. So
Well, you're very
here I am.
kind, and I do I appreciate that. What give me the next thing? What else do you wish you would have known? Like now that you're having this great success, what's something else that you wish you would have known?
I wish I would have known that I can affect my business in such a way just by picking up that phone.
Isn't that amazing?
Yep, it
Why do
is.
you why do you think that's such an avoided thing?
For me, it's not that I avoided it because I don't mind making calls and doing all the things. It was the discipline behind making the time for it and having my butt in the seat 4 days a week prospecting.
Well, so when you're being average and closing, and let's say one or two, Um, and now you're doing 12 for this month anyway. Um, what looks different on your time? Like, were you busy when you were closing, you know,
No, I was barely working.
interesting.
No. Yeah, I was just kind of lost, didn't know what to do. This market kicked a lot of people in the stomach.
It did.
You
It
know,
did. And so
yeah,
were
20.
you, so were you like, were you, like for me, anytime I have a lull, I don't feel like I was working any less. I just maybe not doing, and I'm using air quotes here, the right activities, but I still felt busy. I just wasn't being productive. Was yours more of that or more of, I just went for, I just
I just went for like, I mean, when it slowed down, I mean,
take time
yeah,
off?
yeah,
That's not
I
so bad.
I let whatever came to me, I worked whatever business came to me,
I
but
get it. I get it. You
I wasn't
didn't,
being proactive. I wasn't doing the right things
yeah.
to make a difference in my business to where it was moving the needle.
So going from 0 to 12, like where does most of it where does most of it come from? Like most of the stuff you're getting, where's it coming from?
Realtors.
Okay.
A half. So it's a nice mix. So I was analyzing my leads. And this is where I kind of had my aha moment a couple of weeks ago. So I was analyzing my leads with ChatGPT, and 42% of my leads last month came from realtors. And then it was interesting because my mix, about 20% came from 20, I'm sorry, 25% came from past clients, past client referrals, and then the rest came from like Google. I've done the SEO program with Chris Johnstone,
Yeah.
and I have so a nice little SEO going on with my 3-pack, whatever. So the 30% came from online.
Dang, I love this. This is a great story. So so you're not reliant on any one area. You got the classic three-legged stool,
Yeah.
right? Classic three-legged stool. So just for a few minutes, let's talk about the SEO stuff for a little bit. So tell me how yours differs, if any. So for me, our primary SEO comes from reviews and just getting reviews, getting reviews from past clients and realtor partners, leaving reviews, and then Google. When people type in mortgage, we show up more because we've got some reviews. And really, that's kind of the extent of it. Is yours any different, or like what's
Yeah, I would say so. So, I have a mix of, so I actually have a breakdown of where my online leads come from
okay?
and which ones are performing better. And so, yes, reviews are huge. So I have a lot of Google reviews.
Okay.
I'm now working on my Yelp reviews. And then I do a lot of videos, and I do a lot of product videos on YouTube. And then it's the marriage of connecting YouTube to Google to my website. And so the SEO program really they taught me how to market products,
Mm,
and how important it is to market products,
mm,
and then to marry them up between my Google page, my website, and then my YouTube channel.
interesting. How much of it do you do versus what they do?
Well, I do it all now. Yep. I
They,
mean,
they taught you how to do it. Now you do it.
Yep, now I do it. I was with them for a year, and
Yep.
I will probably go back to learn more. But I felt like, okay, I got this.
I think
And
you got it.
yeah, and I have a digital marketing manager who's absolutely phenomenal, who does a lot of help for me too.
Tell me about your past database. How do you get the business from them? Like what are you doing to get business from them?
Calling them.
Calling them. Yeah.
Yeah, calling
Anything
them.
else? Do y'all do mailers or emails or anything, or is it primarily the phone?
So I don't do mailers. I need to start that again. But I don't do mailers. I haven't. I do a lot of videos, so I have a whole automation going with my past clients, and I have an offer for them once a month that they get on a video. But
Like
that's
what do you
just
mean? What do you mean? Like you have a video that gives an offer once a month. What's the offer?
Yeah, so it refer you to a CPA during tax season, mortgage checkup, home
Okay.
valuation, just adding value wherever I
Like
can.
something once a month.
Yeah,
And then what do you do? Do you are you emailing that out? Or are you doing Facebook ads to your past database, or how do
I'm
you?
not doing that yet, but that's on the short list. So yes, I'm just emailing that out on an automation and then doing my calls once a week.
Yeah. Hey, and let me tell I'm not sitting here trying to poke holes at this and tell you things you need to do because what you're doing is working, right? So we're not saying, hey, well, you need to do this and that, 'cause honestly, I find Amy oftentimes I don't do need to do more of different things. It's just more of what's already working, kind of thing. And
Yeah,
sometimes we add things on, but oftentimes, at least for me, like it's just like what's working, just do more of that, and
right, right.
and how do you find time for it? So hey, so what's one thing that you wanted to make sure that on this podcast, what's one thing that you really want to make sure that we cover?
Okay, so a month ago, I realized that I now have 12 months of data of
Okay.
tracking all my leads, where
Okay.
they come from, how many I get on a monthly basis, how
Okay.
many turn into applications, and then, the lead life is pretty long. I don't know about other loan officers, but some of my leads live a long time. They
Yeah.
can live up to 3 years in my system. But if I look back, I have a solid year's worth of data. And in the month of August, I had an aha moment because I realized I was now going to compete against my old self.
Mm. So instead of competing against Susie or Bob in your office,
Right, right.
you're kicking Amy's last year's butt.
Yes, yes.
Interesting.
So that got really exciting for me because I
Mm.
was like, oh, well, I can definitely beat my old self because I know where I was at last year and I know where I'm at this year. And so at the beginning, I had 29 leads last year.
Okay.
And at the beginning of August, I was like, okay, if I do 42 leads, if I bring in 42 leads, I'll be really happy about that. And it got to the last week and I got to 49. So 49 leads for the month of August 2025. And so now it's like a game, it's like, okay, now it's September. Where are we at? So it's just so much more exciting. And the psychology for me, I don't know, you always look, I do still always look for things to inspire me and to help me be passionate because I'm such a passionate person. And you don't always have that burning, like, ooh, yeah. So like to now I'm geeked out again. I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do in September?
Well, so a couple things here. So number one, I like how you're instead of counting your closing, you're counting your leads
Yeah,
because you know that one's before the other.
you taught me
And
that.
yeah, and well, maybe
Yeah.
that's why I thought it was such a great idea. I think I didn't know
Your
that.
leading
So
indicators.
yeah, because I can't control how many closings I have, but I can control how many leads I get, right? So I can, and obviously one goes the other. So I like the way you're doing that. The other thing though is you might be pretty easy to kick Amy's last year's butt, but you're setting a pretty impressive bar for your next year.
Yeah,
As you started to tell that, I'm always reminded like of these famous musicians that sing at a really high octave. Like say Adam Levine. He's got this
sure.
amazing voice, a high octave, and I always thought, when he gets about 55 or so and starts doing classic rock, kind of thing, and he might not be the hottest thing out. He's got some hard songs to sing as
Yep.
time goes on. So you're setting a pretty impressive bar for your next year's self. Hey, so let me ask you something. So with the growth that you've had, which is impressive, my friend, it really is. That's impressive.
Thank you.
What if anything, 'cause maybe it's nothing, but what if anything is different next year to kick to beat Amy of 2025? So
That's
2026
easy.
Amy, tell me,
That's easy.
tell me.
Well, I am growing as a human, as a loan officer, and just with my discipline. You know, I even though I've definitely come leaps and bounds from a year ago, I still have a lot of growth in that area of just making more calls, building more relationships, but not more relationships, but better
Yeah.
relationships,
Hmm.
better referring relationships, and becoming the loan officer that is ready for those relationships.
Hmm.
So I feel like the best is yet to come, Carl.
So what's going to be different? Like what like you say more disciplined or even more because you sound like you're pretty disciplined now. So even more disciplined like if I was to watch a day in the life of you now versus a day in the life of you a year from now to outdo what you're currently doing to compete against yourself, which I love that you're doing that. Like what activity or what do you what's one thing you're doing now that you're not going to be doing when you're like to get to the next level? What's one thing you have to stop doing? And what's one thing you either have to start doing or doing more of? Hey there. Hey, if you're loving the tips so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down there and then tap the little bell so that you never miss out on more free cool tips coming your way. Also, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment beneath there. Let me know what you think or tell me what you'd like to hear next.
Well, I need more appointments with qualified agents.
How do you do that?
Um,
How do you make
and
that happen?
one thing I learned with the tracking the leads and looking to see where my business is coming from and where my conversion rate is and how the difference between like my conversion rate with my realtor leads versus my conversion rate with maybe my online leads or whatever, and just how much easier the
Mhm.
leads are from the realtor relationships. And even though you get
Mhm.
told that and you know that that's true, but really seeing it in real time, I see it clear as day that I
Mhm.
want more realtor relationships so
Mhm.
that my lead conversion is faster
Yeah.
and more.
I'm always reminded, the one good thing about the referral partner thing is each one is its own bucket. Say, hey, you don't want to put all your
Yes,
eggs in one basket. But 10 realtors is not one basket, it's 10 baskets.
yes.
Whereas like I remember this is going back, I can't remember exactly when this was, but this is going back a little bit. We had a lot of loan officers getting some really good stuff off of Google. And so Google less used to let you go straight like Google, your landing page could be an opt-in page. Can't do
Yep.
that anymore, right? And so these guys and gals were getting really good business off of Google, and literally overnight, Google changed the rule, and they
And
were
wiped
done.
it out.
They were literally wiped out. Like
Yep.
we had an event like the day after that went into effect, and there was like 10 or 15 of them. We weren't sure they was going to come down because they had like in their mind at least, had lost everything. Like everything they were doing was just gone from one person's decision to change one thing, one rule with Google. I'm not saying not to do Google. I think it's great doing it. We do Google. I think it's really big, but I think having these other buckets and each agent is their own bucket.
It's funny you say that because it's like the daily, I've always thought of the daily success plan
Mm,
like like investments. You know how they always tell you, your financial advisor always tell you, diversify. You need to
mm,
diversify and be in different sectors. Well, guess what? It's the same thing with your business. And the daily success plan, the way you created it,
mm,
Mondays is realtor day. That's you're going to focus on new realtors and your realtor relationships. Tuesdays is in process. You're going to get referrals from your in process. Wednesdays is past clients. You're going to go after your past clients. And Thursdays, pre-approved and lookings. And like if you do it all consistently, you're never going to miss. You're never going to have
mm,
that. And it's just like, great. I am getting some business from Google and Yelp for that matter. We don't
mm,
know when that's going to go away. AI is
mm.
here. I'm always going to get business from realtors, my past clients, my past client referrals. Um, so
Yeah.
anyway,
Are you a naturally disciplined person, or is this like a new thing for you, or have you always been disciplined?
I've always been a hard worker. And I've always, before before the last 3 years, I did really well as a loan officer, and the yeah, whatever, to whatever President's Club member, whatever. But however, I never had a plan. I never stuck to a plan. It was called, I was always very inconsistent. And
Hmm.
so to have how they say, or you guys say, the magic is in the consistency.
Yeah.
So that is definitely one thing that I have learned over the last year. So I would say I'm becoming a disciplined person. I've always been a disciplined person, but not in my business.
So how do you stay like how do you hold your feet to the fire, so to speak, in doing that? Like, so it's like today's past database day, and actually today's Wednesday as we're recording this. It's a Wednesday, so it's past database
Yep,
day.
yep.
So how do you get it? So, and I know you show up to the call stars thing. Meg was telling me about that you show up to call stars, which is where a group of us show up every day, Monday through Thursday, and we do our
That
outbound.
really helps. The accountability really helps, Carl.
Mhm.
I need accountability. I think everybody does.
Mhm.
But I know that they might miss me if I'm not on Call Stars. And it's like, okay, this is what I'm doing Monday through Thursday. It's not that hard, 9 to 11.
Mhm. What's one piece of technology that you really lean on?
ChatGPT,
What do you use it for? Tell me about that.
everything. Um, my AI bot's name is Gus.
What
And
was his name? What's the
his
name?
name is Gus.
Gus. Okay, I like
Gus.
that. Gus. Okay.
Yep. And he helps me with my proposals when I'm crunching numbers for people and showing them different options. He helps me with emails that are important. He helps me with all the marketing, content, strategies with my content, strategies with, getting business, all that. Yeah. I mean, the list is long. Every day I'm using it all day long.
It's amazing that that's only $20 a month. I mean, it
It
can be
is.
free, but I think
It
the
is.
paid version is definitely better. It's worthy of it. It just amazes me that's only $20 a month.
I've thrown all my numbers like for the last year into AI and crunched them from here to Sunday. And, the whole method of my madness for wanting to crunch the numbers is to hopefully find out that maybe I don't need as many leads to get to where I want to go as far as my goal
Mhm.
is concerned. But you want to know a fun fact? So, the freedom checker in the mortgage marketing
Uh-huh.
animals?
Yeah.
So it's the first thing when you become a member, you fill out this really cool form of how much you want to make and how to get to retirement. And so I did that way back when, the very first thing I did. I need 102 leads a month
Okay.
to basically to make $1 million a year in my market, you need about 102 leads a month. So I was like, oh God, 102 leads. Okay, this month I'm at 49, And so I'm talking to Gus. I'm crunching all the numbers. I'm like, okay, so how many leads to fund a loan? So right now I'm at 7 to 8 leads to fund one loan.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, Gus, how much to make $1 million? And he's like, 102 leads, Amy. 102 leads a
Mhm.
month. I'm like, well, at
But
least the freedom checker is right.
and I mean that's like 3.5 leads a day.
Yeah, four
That's
leads, about 4 leads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
four. Okay, yeah. So let's round up. You're right, because you don't get half a lead.
yeah,
So
yeah,
four
yeah.
leads a day. So when you put it in little bite-sized chunks like that, you
Yes.
go, all right, well, I might not be doing that now, but I can see the path to doing that. So
Yep. So I tell my husband that every day. The days that I get 4 leads, I'm all, babe, guess what?
it was $1 million day.
It was $1 million day. I'm gonna make $1 million. He's all, tell
Mm.
me when.
Have you? This is a real question. Have you ever made $1 million in one year W-2?
No, most I ever made was 650.
I will be shocked if in the next 12 months you're not. So you're not on the path, what does that come to? 83,000 a month, I think it is.
I
So
feel like I'm on the path now. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but it's going to happen in the next few
I
years.
believe it.
Absolutely.
Now, you know the rule about, do you know the rule about everything to the right of the decimal point? Do you know that
No,
rule? All right.
no.
So there's some fine print that you signed
Okay.
that I need to make you aware of.
Oh, okay.
We call it the two comma club.
Uh-huh.
And so your first year that you make more than $1 million, not in revenue, but in personal income,
Sure.
that I get everything to the right of the decimal. So if it's like if you end up at 1,200,000, $233,427.64, I get a check for 64 cents. And
Okay.
I literally have a stack of them over here on my desk that I saved those through the years. And I love because each
I
one
can't
represents.
wait to give it to
I
you.
can't wait for it. So let's try really hard. I mean, some of them are 14 cents, some of them are 7 cents. I got a couple 85 centers, 87 centers. So I'm counting on you to be on the north side of 50 cents by
I
the way.
love it. Okay,
Hey,
done.
another real question, if I may,
Yes,
and we can
please.
edit this out if you don't care to. Um, Massive difference in your income from one year to the next. Um, what are you doing what are you doing with all like what difference has the income made?
A lot less stress, Carl.
Yeah.
Just also just confidence and feeling like everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You always have that faith. I'm a very faith-driven person,
Mhm.
and if you can't tell, I'm a very positive person. Glasses always half full. I
Yeah.
always know that one way or another, things are always working out for me. This will work out too. However, it is nice to know how it's working out and
Yeah.
to see it come to fruition.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say I'm probably the same thing that, I came to the realization that at least financially, you never know health and all these other things that come into play, of course.
Sure.
But we know that, we're going to be okay and our kids are going to be okay.
Yeah.
And now working on the grandchildren, they're going to be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And it's just, 'cause man, I remember, I do. I never forgotten. I remember, looking at the checkbook and looking at the balances. And I remember one time, oh my God, that Maria and I were sitting down at the kitchen table and we were deciding, all right, honey, what's the last payment that we make sure we don't miss? Like what payment has to happen? And
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
it, yeah, and actually, we came up with a camper, a motorhome, a small motorhome. Because I thought, all right, it's a car and a house, right? So that's
Totally. Yeah.
so that's the last one
Mhm.
which may or may not have been good financial advice, but I remember the stress of that, and to have that behind us is just, So I reflect that. I hear you. Uh,
Well, I want to say something, Carl. Like, I think about this all the time. I think about you and what you've done for our industry. And I hope you know how much you have changed our industry. And to come in with the Breakfast Club at the time you did come in and to have that community for all of us, I think I speak for the masses. Like, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I honestly don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for you and your team.
Well, you're very kind, but and I appreciate that. So thank you. I received that, and thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot. It does. It means a lot to me. And now, Amy, you are inspiring somebody else. So just like you listen to the podcast
Yeah,
and you heard somebody's story, you went, "Wow, that was really inspiring." And now you're that person that you have tens of thousands of loan officers across the nation hearing your story, hearing your inspiration,
I
and
love it.
you're that whisper of hope for somebody. But see, that's how this all works,
It is.
Somebody, I call it lighting my candle. Somebody lit my candle,
Yep.
and then you were kind enough to allow me to be a part of your candle,
Yep.
and now you paying it, the way that you honor the people that lit your candle is to light other people's candles. And I don't know, that
I
sounds
love
kind
it.
of warm and fuzzy-ish, but I do. I just love that part, and I think of all the people that helped us. You and I were talking earlier. I think this is before we hit the record button. That come to find out, both your mother and my mother was a kindergarten teacher,
Yes.
which is really cool. So again, your mother lit your candle and mine for the education and wanting to, uh,
Yep.
be somebody. Mike, yeah, it's very, all the people that my mother and your mother has influenced through you and in my case, my mother through me, all
Yeah.
the people that she's influenced, I don't think they had an idea of where, like the influence of the people that came before us, the influence that they.
No, and I bet you a lot of people don't realize how many what their impact is, especially our mothers, you know. My mama is salt of the earth and taught so many people through her 32 years of
Mm,
being a kindergarten, first grade teacher. And my
mm.
dad was a college professor. Actually, he still is, and he's 89.
What does he teach?
He teaches computer science,
Oh,
engineers,
oh,
mechanical engineers in
okay.
Canada, of all places. So,
Wow, wow.
yeah, yeah. But I really feel that I've kind of brought my the teaching spirit to my first time home buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And I love teaching mortgage, and I
Mm,
love just taking somebody from not understanding it, not knowing a thing, to a place where they're buying a house, you know?
mm,
So I've kind of put my own spin on teaching and
mm.
educating.
Hey, I should have asked you this earlier, and it just came to me. I hadn't asked you about your team yet. So when you're closing 12, like, do you have some help, or do you have somebody helping you? A process, like, what
Oh
does that look
yeah. So I have a full-time loan partner
like? Okay.
who's also licensed, and she does all my back end. She's cradle to grave. And
Is she local? Like, to you, is she local?
no, she works for American Pacific Mortgage as well. However, she's actually in the Los Angeles area, Southern California.
Right?
So she works remote, and so do I. And then I'm right now, because we're so busy, there's another loan partner at the branch that is helping us because she's not as busy, and so that's working out really nicely. I always say that, whenever you need the help will come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have an amazing
Well,
team though. I'm very
well,
blessed.
well, wait, when you're working at the right place,
Yes.
right? Because
That's true. A
yeah,
hundred percent.
yeah,
Yes.
it sounds like
Yes.
you're with a great I've heard of them,
Yeah.
and they're a great organization.
They
And
are. Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
American
yeah,
Pacific Mortgage is a great place to work. Absolutely.
yeah. All right. So there's you, and you have a loan partner, and then as needed, your organization says, hey, you can use
Yeah.
this loan partner
Yep.
too. So I like that. It's easy to expand and contract as necessary.
hmm
Anybody? So, and you have a
And then
processor.
I have a digit. Nope. So my loan partner is a hybrid. So she does it all.
Okay,
So
okay.
she
Processor, loan partner in one.
Exactly. So
Love
my
that.
next step is to hire another full-time loan partner who would be a pre-approval specialist.
Like more on the front end.
Yep.
I like
hmm
that. So
Yeah.
loan partner. So you got loan partner, number one, and number two is necessary. Anybody else?
I have a digital marketing manager who is actually my niece, and she actually is Filipino, and she actually does live in the Philippines with my nephew.
How
Um,
cool is that?
what?
How cool is that? That's a
It is
great story.
amazing. No, and she's phenomenal. Yeah, she's just yeah, she can do anything. So
Yeah,
she does all my loan officer CRM stuff. She does all my landing pages and video editing and all the things.
yeah. Of all the marketing that you do, what's the one piece that you feel like is the most important?
All the marketing that I do,
Yeah, like what specific activity do you think moves the needle for you the most?
my product videos.
Interesting. How long are those?
Well, I used to do them a lot longer, but nobody listens. So like I try to keep it under 2 minutes. 1 and a half, 1.5
Okay.
minutes.
And
Yeah.
where do you post those? At YouTube primarily?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And then on my website and then on Google.
How often do you do those?
Well, I do batches. And so we probably have 1 to 3 videos going out a week.
Okay. And where are you like when you do those, are you doing them with a green screen? You do them in your office? You doing them around
This
town, your
is it,
house?
Carl,
So
right
like
here.
it,
If
okay.
you look at any of my videos recently, this is
You're sitting there at that desk and
this
just do
is
a
the
little 1 minute
background.
video.
Yep, I keep it simple.
And who's the target? Is it the consumer is the target or the referral partner's the target?
So I do both, and I haven't done as much business to business. And I'm leaning into that more and taking the product and taking it, okay, the EEM loan, how can we market your listing with the
Mm,
EEM loan? How can we market your listing with the FHA Hoper loan? But most of my videos have been to the client, so direct marketing.
very interesting. Well, with your permission, what we'll do is in the show notes, I'll get you to send me over a link to one of them. And
Yeah.
in the show notes, we'll put a link in there. So whatever platform you're happen to be as you're listening to this, whatever platform you're watching this in or listening to this, just click on the show notes and there it'll be. And if you're watching this on YouTube, so most people just listen to the podcast, but we get a fair amount watch on YouTube also. They're already in YouTube. They just click the button and there they are. So we'll put that in the show notes if that's okay with you.
Fantastic. Thank you,
Yeah.
Carl.
Well, thank you. Anything I should have asked you today that I didn't?
I think we covered it all.
I think you have a lot more. You're a fascinating person. You have a great story. But I think this is a good
Yeah.
stopping point for episode number one.
All right.
And
Sounds good.
I'm looking
Looking
forward to,
forward to episode number 2
I'm looking
someday.
forward to episode number two. So, hey, again, congratulations, my friend. Good,
Thank you.
well done. Really well
Thank you so
done. So,
much.
yeah. All right. I think that's it. So,
All right.
hey, thanks for listening to the podcast today, and go check out Amy's link to see what she's doing, and we'll see you on the next episode of Loan Officer Freedom. Thanks again, Amy.